Hey y'all, welcome back to L&L Honeycomb Homestead. This is number 2 of our canning series, and this is our number 2 recipe. And what we're going to make is some relish, okay? We're going to make some sweet relish. So if you're interested in wanting to learn how to make some sweet relish, stay tuned. Okay, y'all. So I know y'all canners or people who wants to learn how to can your own food, like your relishes and stuff like this. I know y'all have seen this in the store. Now, when I was starting to can or haven't even known anything about canning, this right here, I was like, what is that? Do I just sprinkle it on some food? Is that what it is? I didn't know what it is. It's your seasonings, okay? Everything that we've been sitting here talking about as far as different seasonings that are in our ball book that's going with these recipes, these are the exact same seasonings that are on the back of your directions, okay? It's the same seasonings. And this is another way you can be budget friendly as well too. If you don't have the money to go get these seasonings, because it's going to add up as you go, adding up, you know what I'm saying? So what they have the little recipes for these particular things like this, sweet pickle relish. The ball book also has the same recipe, okay? Has the same recipe with the same ingredients for this recipe. In other words, without you having to go and spend all that money on seasonings, if you see these in the store, this is another way that you can make your brine and your juices and stuff like that for your recipes and for your canning, you know what I'm saying, for all your canning. This is also another way that you can learn how to can, because it tells you in direction form how to can with the water bathing. It has all of that in here on the back of the instructions on the back. It also tells you how many quarts or how many pints this recipe makes that you're making with your cucumbers. Okay, so let's get started. So first things first, you're going to need a bowl and you're going to need your cucumbers that I got over here. Now what I did was I rinsed them off really good, washed them off really good, and I cut the ends off, and they should look like something like so, like this. Okay, you want to cut the ends off. Okay, you want to cut the ends that had the flower end, and you want to cut the end, I call it is the butt, and you want to cut that off as well. Okay, so you want to cut those up. You can dice them up really small, but that's going to take up too much time for me. But if you get you a processor, that it be work really quick, and you're going to do 6 to 8 pounds of this. I'm going to be making a lot of this, but for video purposes, I'm going to make enough that's going to make this recipe, and that is 5 pints. This recipe is going to make 5 pints. Now I'm going to make a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to get 2 of these, but for the, like I said, for the video, I'm going to make just 1 bag of this, okay? So what it's asking for is 6 to 8 pounds. I know I got more than 6 to 8 pounds over here in this bowl, and I'm going to be grinding these up into small little pieces. You don't want them too fine, but you want to have some little chunks to it, because this is going to be relish, okay? You kind of eyeball it, you know, you'll be able to see, but you're going to dice them up. If you don't have a processor, just dice them up like you would dice onion or anything like that, okay? So this processor is going to be kind of loud, but I'm going to do this so that way you can see what it looks like and how small it's going to be when it chops up, okay? So I'm going to drop them off in here, and we're going to get these going. Okay, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to go the steps with you. One step at a time. Okay? And we want this to be cut up just about like that. That's going to be your relish. Okay? And this right here made up, let's see. Because I got an 8-quart processor. And this right here made 2 cups. Okay, it made 2 cups. So I'm gonna put that in here, and we're gonna run some more. Make sure you have a good bowl. Don't get a stainless steel bowl. Okay, you want it to have like a plastic big bowl or something like that. You don't want a stainless steel. I think the reason why they don't want it to be stainless steel because the vinegar and all the acid and stuff like that, that's hidden metal, and you don't want to have that metal taste in your food. So you want to have a plastic bowl, okay? So we're going to put this back up on top of here. Put my blade back in here. Put my top back on. And we're going to run that process again. Okay, so as you can see, it made a little bit more. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back after I complete this cycle, okay? I'm going to, because I don't, you know, it don't have to be really long. Y'all get the idea. We want it to be diced up, okay? So we're going to go to the next step after I finish doing this, okay? Okay. Okay, y'all, so, excuse me. So, I've already chopped this up. Now, at this point, okay, if you are the person that likes to make your relishes colorful, if you like to have different type of bell peppers and stuff, this is the time that you can put that in with your cucumbers. I'm not going to do it with this recipe, but I will be doing it on my own recipe. That's how I do mine. But I'm showing you how this recipe is. And what's so good about it, when you are canning and doing your own recipes and your own little things like that for your canning, you can put your own little stuff together. You don't have to follow that book, okay? You do not have to follow it. So if there's something that's in this book or something that I am doing, this is the time that you can do whatever you want at that point, okay? If you want to stick with just cucumbers to make that sweet relish, and that's what you like, and nothing else, that's what I'm making today for y'all. And for myself too, because I like it that way, and I like it also with the bell peppers. Okay, so I'm going to turn you around because I got you kind of closer so you can see the texture and how this looks. Okay, I'm going to bring you down. Now, if you can see that, this how this relish needs to be looking. Okay, kind of favors that package, don't it, a little bit. But yes, that's how you're going to do it, okay? You want to cover it up really fine. You want to cut it up fine. You can have it chunky if you want to, if you like chunky relish, but it's asking to be fine. This is how I like it, okay? Because it's going to thicken up. It's going to thicken up. And I think it's way more than what I said it was going to be because, like I told you, I'm going to be doing more of these jars off camera. I'm going to do it with some bell peppers. But I'm doing this recipe right here. Just plain, straight, sweet relish because I want some of this as well, okay? So I'm going to bring you on up here. Now, the next thing you're going to need is some pickling canning salt. Pickling canning salt. You're going to need 1/4 of this, and we're going to put this on top of this cucumber. And then we're going to stir it up really good, and we're going to cover it, and you're going to put that in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Okay? For 2 hours. I got my 1/4 measuring cup. Getting ready to put it in here, and we're going to measure that with this pickling salt. And we're going to sprinkle it over this, like so. Close this back up. Get you a spoon. Get you a good spoon, because we're going to mix this all up. Just like this. And with this pickling salt, what it's going to do is it's going to bring that moisture. It's going to bring it where that cucumber starts watering. You know what I'm saying? It's going to draw this water out of this cucumber, that salt. It's going to draw it out. So you want to make sure you get this good and stir it in. And then you're going to cover it. You can use some saran wrap. You can use a top or something, but you need to cover it. And then you're going to put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. And while that's going to be in there for those 2 hours, I'm going to show you what we need to do next to get the ball rolling. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. Your bowl should look just like this. It should have a saran wrap on it, foil, whatever it needs. But it needs to be covered for 2 hours in the refrigerator. This is the time that you need to go ahead and put your cold water in. Get your nice, clean, sanitized jars that you have washed with soap and water, okay? And put them in this canner, all right? You want cold water in there. You want to fill those jars up past the jar for like 2 inches for safe measure. It asks for 1. I usually do 2, so that way I know it's good and it's, above those jars, okay? It's no problem with that. Okay, it's really no problem with that. But you want to put your jars in here. It's in the water. The water will be cold and everything. I've already turned mine on. It's on 6.5. You don't want these jars to boil. You just want these jars to get hot. Okay? That's what you want to do. You want to get these jars to be hot when it's time for that to come out and get ready for canning. Okay? So everything is in there. All those jars are in here. They all been they're sanitizing. They're getting hot. They're getting ready for the canning and everything for your for your relish. And then on the back side, turn around. You got your saucepan. You got your lids in here. You got one for good measure. Same with your jars. You got one for good measure. Okay? You also want to turn this on as well. You don't want it to boil, but you want it to get hot. You want them to get hot. For those that are coming in on this video and the ones that are just wanting to learn how to can, excuse me, this right here, okay, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, all right, you will love to do it like this, okay? This is another quick way that you can can your food, okay? These packets have the ingredients in here, but you won't have to go out trying to find all the seasonings that you would need just to make a recipe right? Like this recipe right here. You won't have to go around trying to find what it's asking for. It's asking for like your pickling cannon salt, okay? If you have some pickling cannon salt already, that'll be the only thing you will have to get if you're going to be doing all that pickling, okay? Because it's going to ask for that. You're gonna need that, but it's going to ask for that. But then it's going to ask for other ingredients, like your seasonings, like it does in the ball book. It'll ask all those seasonings. So if you cannot go and you can't find it, or if it's out and you want to make that recipe, if you find these, in the grocery store, then it has all of those ingredients in here. All that's in here. Because that's going to be the mixture that you're going to put in your cucumbers to make your relish. Okay? That's what's going to be in here. So you'll add that in with what it's going to be calling for. And you'll see what I'm talking about, because I gave you all those ingredients already. So that way you can have that, okay? If you can find this, that's good. And if you got the ball book, it's going to be the same thing that's in here. So if you see me doing these videos and I got this in here, it's in the ball book, okay? Those ingredients are in here. This is just a fast way in doing it. So that way you won't be having to go spend extra change, because that's going to add up, add up, add up. And this I gave for like $2 and some change. $2 and some change. You can get these at Walmart. But the grocery store that I go to, everything's kind of marked down. And that's what I gave for it. So they probably run maybe like $3 or $4. But for those $3 or $4, you're cutting everything in half as far as all those seasonings you have to make this. Is all in here. Okay? And another thing as well, if you are wanting to make up your own little recipe, you know what I'm saying, with your own little seasonings and flavors for your relish, by all means, you can put that in there, okay? You can put that in your relish, okay? But you got to make sure you got some vinegar. You got to make sure you got something that's got some acidity to it, because this is a water bath. You got to have that type of acid. You got to have those ingredients like that, lemon juice, different little things like that to make it, to balance it out, okay? So this is a quick way right here. That way you won't have to worry about buying all those seasonings. You have it all in here, okay? So this is why I'm using this, because I got those little bit of seasonings that I have that's in the ball book, right? I don't have to use all them was up, because I'm going to have to go back out and get some more stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I use those if I have to. You know what I'm saying? If I want to make up my own seasoning, if I want to put some peppercorns in there, I can put some peppercorns in something like that. I won't have to continue on having to buy that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So this already has all the ingredients that it's asking for that's in here. Okay? Just want to let you know that. Just a tip. Hey, honey bees, now that it's been, excuse me, now that it's been 2 hours, you want to take your cucumber mix and you want to put that inside of here. Okay, your cucumbers. You want to put this inside the strainer. You want to strain out the excess juice that's left off in here. Okay? Excuse my voice, I'm sorry. But you want to put that in here and let it strain. You don't want to rinse it. You don't want to do none of that. Okay? And I'm going to show you what you need to do next. Okay, honey bees. Excuse me, my voice is going. But we're going to work through this. Okay. Now, with this packet here, since it's got all the seasoning in it, you won't have to worry about the seasonings. What you need is, what it's asking for, is the vinegar, and you're going to need some sugar, okay, in this pouch. You're going to need a pot, okay, to put this stuff in. So, for the first ingredient, you're going to need some vinegar. You're going to need at least, you're going to need 2.5 cups of vinegar, okay? I'm going to bring you down so you can see what I'm talking about. And you're going to also need 2 cups of sugar. So I'm going to bring you on down. And we're going to do this. So I got 2.5 cups, and we're going to put it right in here. In the meantime, make sure you have your eye on the stove on medium heat, because you're going to need some heat to this, okay? Then you're going to need 2 cups of sugar. 2 cups. This is 1. And this is 2. Okay. You're going to need your handy dandy spoon. You're going to kind of stir it up a little bit, get it going in here. Okay. And then I'm going to take you over here to the stove. And we're going to have to continue on making this mixture. Okay, honeybees, I got you over here at the stove. We got this vinegar and we got the sugar in here. Now we're going to add this to the mix. Let me show you what the seasoning looks like. Can you see it? Okay. That's going to go inside of the mixture. And I'm going to let you get a good look at it. We're going to stir this in here. And we're going to get it to where the water starts to boil. Okay. And some of the seasoning that's in here, I have made some of my own. I've made some bell pepper seasoning. Okay. I've made some, I have some cloves. I have all that stuff in here. Okay. But like I said, this is going to give you the right mixture. So this is what the mixture is looking like. And you need to stir it occasionally. Okay. Until it comes to a boil. When it comes to that boil, that's when you're going to add your cucumbers. Your chopped cucumbers. Okay? So you stir it occasionally. Now that it's coming to a boil, now you want to add your cucumbers in the mix. Now that you got that in here, you want to mix that up in here really good. You want to do this and let it start boiling, and you want to cook this for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes is up, it's going to be ready to be canned up. Okay? Alright, let's get it going. And I'll be back. Now you see that it's getting ready to boil. And you got a good mixture going on in here. It's thickening. So you want to start letting it do its thing for 10 minutes. Okay? I'm going to set the timer, and I'll be back in 10 minutes, and we're going to be ready to start canning this up. Yes. Now the time is about to go off on the relish. You need to have everything ready to be canning. And there it is. So I'm going to bring the relish over for us to get started. Okay. Sure you turn off your eye. Your jars are good and hot. Your canning tools are sanitized. Got a clean towel. You got you some paper towels. You have you some vinegar, so that way you can wipe your jar lids with. And we're ready to go. Make sure you have your ladler to scoop your ingredients in. Pour me some vinegar in a container. Okay. I made a lot because I'm going to have some in some quart jars as well. All right, now we're going to start taking things out of the water bath. Jars are going to be good and hot. Pour your water out. It's going to be hot now. You got to be careful. You're going to have your funnel ready to put on top. Bring it down just a little bit more so you can see. Slide this over. Ooh, it's hot. Okay. And my ladle is on the stove. Okay. And now you need a 1.5 inch headspace when doing this. Get as close as I can to this. Okay. 1 inch headspace. You're going to take your debubbler and you're going to debubble it. Just to make sure that you don't have no air pockets. Okay. This or something. You're going to get your magnet. Get your lid. Go put this on here. Be careful because it is hot. Before you do that, like I said before, it happens. It can happen. I caught it this time. And wipe your ribs, the mouth. Make sure it's good and wiped off. So that way, this lid can stick. Now you put your lids on. It's good on there. Get your lid. Fingertip tight. And put it down. See? You can put it back in the water. And grab your next. I'm going to start doing 2 at a time. Okay. Put your thumb in. It's good. Hold as close as you can. And let's feel. Half-inch headspace. Okay, slide this up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more to that one. You want to wipe your jars good. drain it. Put your lids. Put it right on top. Make sure it's good and even. I'm going to add a little bit more to this. It looks like I got to debubble that one. The other one looked okay. I'm going to wipe it again. Okay. Put the lid on that one. It's good and even. Fingertip tight. Be careful, y'all, because it is hot. Now, if by chance you didn't get one filled, that's the one you need to put that in the refrigerator because it's not finished. So I was able to get 4 because I did not do enough cucumbers for this recipe, but I will be making some anyway, some more of it, okay? So I got 4 of them in here. It calls for 5, but like I said, I didn't have enough cucumbers. But this is what you can do. You can still water bath it because I'm only lacking that one, okay? Turn your volume up on your eye. See it? Turn it up. And now it's going to start getting ready to boil. You do not, and I repeat, do not start counting your time. I will be water bathing this for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. But right now, you do not do it until that water starts boiling. You need to get it boiling really good before you start that canner on that timer for 15 minutes. Okay? Bees, I have lost my voice. You gotta forgive me. But if you can understand what I'm saying, you do not want to start this water bath canner until that rolling boil hit, okay? You cannot start it until it starts to boil, okay? So for your altitude, again, my altitude is between 0 to 3,000 in the area that I'm in. I will be water bathing this for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And I don't start that canner until it starts boiling. Now that you got your jars are boiling, go ahead and start that timer for 15 minutes. And make sure when you do this, you're lifting it away, as you saw I was doing. I lifted it away. Put it on here. 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we'll be right back so I can show you what the next step is. The time is up. Turn the eye off. Take the lid off. Make sure the pot is away from you. Okay. Set this over here. And now you're going to wait till that water simmer down before you take it out of there. You don't want that water still boiling because you can get popped by that water. And that water's hot. You don't need no burns. Now that the water has settled down, now we're going to take the jars out. And that way you can see how it looks. And bring it on down. Okay? Make sure you're good and adjusted. Okay. And first of all, let me get my mitten. just like this. If you got water on top of your jar, just leave it there. It will evaporate. Do not tilt it. Just pull it straight up from the canner. Bring it back so you can see what I'm talking about. Got one more. So I was able to make 4.5 jars. Put the lid back on your canner. Bring you back up here. Yo, we did it again. We done canned 2 things. That was the corn relish. And now we got some sweet relish. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Let these sit overnight for 24 hours. They are going to seal overnight. And I'm going to show you what you do next in the morning. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later. Good morning, honey bees. So it's now the next day. It's 24 hours. And we're going to check to see if our relish have sealed. And this is how you would check. You would take your top off, your band, and then you'll lift up on it, just like this. If it's lifted up where you can do that without it dropping, that is letting you know it's sealed. If you press the middle and there's no indentations, it's sealed. But if you press it and it goes in, that lets you know that it did not seal. So this one is safe. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. You would then take it, have your marker, pen, whatever you want to use. You would put the date on it. And that will be August the 8th, and then the 12th day, and 23 is the year. You will label it and say, sweet pickles. You finally canned up your second jar of relish. First corn relish, now pickle relish, sweet relish. I want to thank my honeybees for coming on and showing love on the channel and making your very own sweet pickle relish. We did it, y'all. Sweet pickle relish. I'm so happy. Are you? You did it. You did it. So give yourself a pat on the back. This is the second day. We got our own relish to put on the shelf. Until then, thank you for coming to L&L Honeycomb Homestead and have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.